Sunday morning, guys. Welcome to Take 5. I'm your host, Carla Salinas. It's Sunday, June 23rd, and we have a great show for you planned today, starting with some really cool creatures that live right off Sherry Road. This is the Sherry Road alpacas. Good morning, Take 5. I hope you're awake and had your coffee because I know these creatures are up and ready to meet you. They're the fun-loving alpacas that live on Sherry Road, and you have the chance to meet them, walk them around, and take the best pictures.
People like to come here. It's a beautiful location to take photos and interact with the animals. So some people will do both, and some people will mainly do one or the other. So some people are not interested in photos, they just come love our animals and enjoy them. Other people are interested in the photos and they might just come take photos. And most people that come here, 90% of them do both at the same time.
Hello! In my time at Sherry Road Alpacas, I got to meet Malcolm and Chulo, two of the friendliest and most charming alpacas on the ranch. Malcolm, with his soft fleece and curious nature, quickly became my walking buddy. These guys come all the way from Peru, and fun fact, alpaca fleece is actually hypoallergenic. Unlike wool from sheep, you can hug these guys all day as they won't cause any itchiness or allergic reactions.
So alpacas are just a special animal because they're very calm for the most part, and so they're just very fluffy, huggable, cuddable animals. So it's like a big alpaca teddy bear, let's say, right? So I think that's why people love them so much, and that's why we love them so much. You can hug them, they can hug their neck, and they can't hug you back, but you can tell they love you.
Ben decided to open Sherry Road Alpaca to the public about 4 years ago, adding a little slice of heaven to our community.
We've steadily grown. We started with 10 female alpacas, and currently we have 22 animals. We have 11 boys and 11 girls. And so we've been blessed. We have had a couple of crias. That's a baby alpaca. We've had a couple crias born here, and so our herd is growing little by little as we feel we can handle the amount of animals that we have.
Sherry Road Alpacas does private events and parties, meaning your very next get-together can have these amazing guests of honor.
You can book online, and our hours do vary because we do host a lot of field trips, which are private. And our parties are mostly private. We have a beautiful property. It's not extremely large, so we do host a lot of private events. And when we're hosting a private event, it's strictly private, and we don't have anybody else on the farm. And so, yeah, the best way to book is online. You can look at available times and book on there.
Oh, are y'all about to kiss?
All in all, it was another good day, Take 5. I can't complain. I left a little piece of my heart with Malcolm and Chulo and all of the alpacas I got to meet. But not to worry, I'm glad you can meet these guys too now.
So we'd love everybody to come out and experience our animals. It really is a one-of-a-kind experience. If you haven't experienced it, you should. And get to know our animals and just have that at least once in your life. Interact with them, feel them, and love them. And I'm pretty sure it won't be your first time, won't be your last time if you do that. So yeah, we have seasonal photos. Every season we have photos for you to take with your family, so you can get good shots. And so we welcome everybody to come out.
Here on Take 5, we have been lucky enough to highlight some of the unique art scene that we have in the RGV, and today we are continuing to do just that. We are joined here by Nathan Garcia. He is a Weslaco native and he is the creator of Beaded.
Yes.
So thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
We're very excited to have you, and please tell us a little bit more about Beaded.
Beaded is actually something I started in efforts to cope with the loss of my younger brother, which shifted a lot of my priorities towards my mental health. And once I graduated with my degree in chemistry, I knew I wanted to pursue something more creative. And on his birthday, I launched my website.
You know, I definitely believe idle hands, you want to keep busy, and you're doing it through creativity.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about where you pull all of these ideas from. We've got so much color here, so much creativity. Where do these ideas come from?
They come from everywhere. Like everywhere I look, I have a note app on my phone and like I just write down all the concepts I want to create.
Wow, and so tell us a little bit about what you do have, some of the products that you do sell.
Well, I do have phone charms, card holders, and necklaces. I do have a lot of other small things, but one of my favorites are my bags.
Right, and these purses are absolutely amazing. How long do these take you?
They range from normally like a day and a half to 3. I like to focus on one thing at a time.
Today we are here at Citrus in Weslaco, and it's a very special place because you're actually going to be hosting an event here pretty soon. You're having a bead night. Okay, so tell us a little bit more about this event.
Oh, well, Bead Night is something I've wanted to host for the community for a while. It's going to be a place where admission includes the creation of your own custom beaded necklace, and I've sourced a lot of materials from 3D printed acrylic, ceramic, and glass, and yeah.
Love that. So it's a chance for people to come. You can come with your friends and you can get creative on your own.
Yes.
Awesome. So I actually have my Take 5 team with me here today. And so we're going to give a little sneak peek of what this bead night will look like.
Okay.
And so we're going to definitely need your help. We're going to need your help with this creativity to come up with some bracelets for ourselves.
Okay, perfect.
All right, so let's get started. I've brought Carla and Heather with me. They're going to join in on the creativity. So we're making bracelets.
It's gonna be
Oh, scared me.
Did you start all over again?
No.
Yes, I did. I did. It's all gone.
They all came out.
It's all gone, everybody.
So we just wrapped up. We all have our new bracelets.
If you're in the Mission area and looking to taste some handmade delicious tortillas, look no further than Annalise Taqueria.
Ana opened her taqueria in May 2021, serving traditional Mexican dishes with a twist. Her menu includes tacos, tostadas, empanadas, and flautas, to name a few. But the number one thing that makes her taqueria stand out are her handmade corn tortillas.
Well, I always knew I wanted to do something different when I opened the taqueria, and for me the most important thing is the quality of the food. So I always want to bring like the fresh ingredients to the table, and I think like that's like the base. The tortilla is the base for everything in a taqueria.
Ana follows a process that is called nixtamalization, which is a traditional way of preparing maize. Every night, Ana steeps dried corn kernels in water with dehydrated lime powder, also known as Mexican cal. She cooks the kernels for 35 minutes and then allows them to rest for 12 hours. The next day, she turns on her corn grinder and makes the masa for her tortillas.
So I use two types of corns. I use the yellow corn and the blue corn. So the blue corn is only for tostadas and the yellow corn is for everything else, like tostadas de mesa, los tacos, las empanadas, las flautas.
You can feel, smell, and taste the quality of Ana's tortillas. They are light and airy and fold easily without crumbling or falling apart. It is no surprise that Ana was the recipient of the 2024 James Beard Award Best Chef in Texas, beating out 4 other finalists, including one from San Antonio. A major accomplishment in the restaurant industry that Ana says she is extremely grateful for. Her dream of opening a taqueria began at a young age, and her inspiration came from helping her father at his taquerias in Mexico.
My love for food started when I was like going every weekend, because I always live over here. So every weekend I would go to the taquerias of my dad and help him out. So I knew I wanted to open like a taqueria, but like not like every taqueria, you know what I mean? Like something different.
Ana has a special message for young Latina women just like herself that want to be successful in life.
I feel like everything is possible. And honestly, you don't need a lot of money, or you don't need like to start with like a location or something. You can start with your house and then grow up from there, you know what I mean? If you want to do something, just do it. Like, don't think about it twice, you know what I mean? I feel like that's the most important thing.
Make sure to visit Ana Liz Taqueria in Mission and follow her on Instagram and Facebook to see all of her amazing dishes. For Take 5, I'm Millicent Olivares.
Earlier this month, Ana Liz Taqueria took home first place for the James Beard Award for Best Chef. A big Take 5 congratulations to Ana and her entire staff for top of the honors. And up next, Track V is a nonprofit that helps to make sure that first responders are at the ready in case of an emergency. A special guest joins us in our Take 5 studios to talk more about their mission coming up next.
Being prepared is important, and this local organization is providing classes for free for the entire Rio Grande Valley. I'm talking about the Trauma Regional Advisory Council V. And joining us today with more information is Nathan Ramon. Nathan, thanks so much for coming today.
Thank you for having me.
We're so excited to talk about Track V. Tell us, what is it?
So Track V is a nonprofit organization. We're a 501c3 based in the Rio Grande Valley. We are one of 22 regional advisory councils around the state of Texas. So back in the late 80s, early 90s, the state was divvied up into what they called trauma service areas. And each trauma service area has a council that is responsible for system performance improvement and oversight and coordination with hospitals and EMS providers. And so we're that organization for the Rio Grande Valley. So we cover Willacy, Cameron, Hidalgo, and Starr County.
And you know, it's important that you cover the entire valley, but what do you guys do exactly?
So we provide a number of education courses, free trainings that we'll organize for the public to better enhance CPR or stop the bleed trainings, but we'll also coordinate education courses for our nurses, paramedics, hospital and pre-hospital staff so that they're better prepared whenever we need them. We'll also look at regional performance improvement metrics to identify what subspecialties or what type of surgeons we need in the valley to better enhance our patient care and keep people here in the valley so that we don't have to send them to Houston, Dallas, or Austin to get the patient treatment that they deserve.
And you know what's so important is that right now it's all about preparation. You kind of think this will never happen to me, but we get into situations that it might be us. Can you share with us an example that why your services are so important?
Yeah, definitely. I think the biggest thing that I want to relay is that there's an organization here in the valley that's kind of doing the behind the scenes thinking for everyone. Perfect example is right now in the month of June, we're talking about hurricane preparedness. And so our organization with a number of our partners and counties and a number of other organizations are talking about what are we going to do if a hurricane comes. If we have a very active hurricane season, if an evacuation is ordered, what does that look like? Where is medical personnel going to be staffed and where are they going to be housed and how do we get people out? And so, thinking in advance about some of those conversations about what are we going to do when a disaster strikes is of the essence.
And also, if it's just an everyday thing, I know we were talking about we want to make sure that if we have to call 911, people are ready to service whatever your needs are, correct?
Exactly. A lot of people don't think about who's going to show up when they call 911. They just know that an ambulance is going to show up and they're going to take them wherever they need to go.
Yeah, and in those instances, everybody just cares about being taken care of.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for providing these services to the community, and thank you for empowering the RGV. If you want more information on the classes, you can visit their website, trackv.org, or you can call them at 956-364-2022.
And coming up, the Hidalgo County Elections Department is looking for poll workers. Details on their next certification class next on Take 5. The presidential election is still a few months away, but the time to get involved is now. Joining us is Hidalgo County Elections Administrator Hilda Salinas. Hilda, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So today we're focusing on poll workers. So what exactly is a poll worker? What do they do, and how many of them do you need here in Hidalgo County?
Well, poll workers are the workers that do administer the election at the polling locations, located throughout Hidalgo County. Now, poll workers will assist the voter when it comes to checking them in, of course, guiding them to the voting machine so that way they can cast their ballot, as well as guiding them to where they can place their paper ballot, to get scanned in the scanner. Right now, for the November 5th, 2024 presidential election, we do need 1,170 poll workers.
That's quite a few that we need here in the Valley. Now, this isn't volunteer work. This is actually a paid job. So is there any requirements that people should be aware of?
Yes, this is a paid position, and you know, those who are interested would need to be a registered voter of Hidalgo County, participate in an in-person training as well as online, you know, training, be able to work on election day, which is November 5th, 2024, from 5:45 a.m. to 9 p.m., you know, give or take. Also be neutral and nonpartisan at the polling location.
Now, are there different roles, or is everybody kind of doing the same thing?
There are different roles. We do have the judge, who is the one, you know, in charge of leading, you know, there at the polling location, the alternate judge who will assist the judge, and the election clerk.
Now, the election's kind of a bit far away, but you guys are looking for poll workers now. Is there a reason for that? Are you guys just getting ready for that election?
Yes, we are. We are getting prepared. However, there is a new law that's in place that went into place last year during the 87th legislation. And what happened is that it did change how we procure and secure polling locations for different elections. Hidalgo County is a countywide polling place program county. So we have 259 voting precincts in Hidalgo County, and what this law states is that we need to have half of that in polling locations. So that's 129.5, 130.
Now, you guys have made it so easy to sign up to be a poll worker. So how can they do that the easiest way possible?
Well, we do have, of course, flyers, you know, throughout Hidalgo County, but they can visit our website. They can visit our website at www.hidalgocounty.us/elections. You know, there is a banner on there that says poll worker application. So click on that banner and it'll lead you straight to the application. Print it, fill it out. You can email it to elections@co.hidalgo.tx.us. You can also drop it off at our main office, which is 213 South Klosner in Edinburgh, and fax it at 956-393-2039.
Perfect, Hilda. Well, we thank you so much for joining us today with all that important information.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
We are back with another Made in the 956 Extra. I am here with Channel 5 News anchor Trey Serra. Okay, Trey, what do you got for us this week?
All right, Carla. Well, June is Pride Month, and RGV Pride is out with some big changes this year. So RGV Pride started back in 2013 as Pride in the Park in Harlingen. Now, it's grown a lot over the past few years, and they've seen a few different homes. Now, from the Harlingen Convention Center to the McAllen Convention Center, all the way to South Padre Island. And this year, they're making another big change. Take a listen.
RGV Pride will be coming back over to the Upper Valley area in McAllen, Texas. Not in June. I want to make sure everyone knows, not in June. We have actually decided to, at this time, beat the South Texas heat, and we're moving our event to October 19th in celebration of LGBTQ plus History Month and the endings of National Hispanic and Latinx Heritage Month.
Trey, that is amazing. You know what? Petition to move some summer events to October. We need some, you know, outdoorsy events in the summer too.
And that's exactly what he said also because it's really hot in the summer here, and just to be able to enjoy the time outdoors a lot more. And it also just ties in with a lot more celebrations that happen around that time of year. So it's going to be, you know, a big celebration around the valley.
It sounds like it's going to be such an amazing time. So Trey, where can people go to for some more information?
Yeah, to keep up with all the events that they're actually doing this month as well, and in October, you can go to realgrandvalleypride.org.
Well, thank you so much for joining us again, Trey. It's always a pleasure working with you.
Thank you for having me.
Up next, lace up your running shoes for a good cause. Details on Run for a Cure 5K next on Take 5 Sunday morning. We'll be right back. The 17th annual Lisa Shampoo 5K is set up for August 17th. The event will be held along the Mission Hike and Bike Trail. All proceeds will go to MD Anderson. Joining us now to talk all about it is Carlos Lugo. Carlos, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Now we're going to get to the event details in just a second, but I want to talk about Lisa Shampoo. I know she was very special to you. Can you kind of tell us her story?
Well, you know, I met her, she was an employee of mine. She worked for me for a period of time. And basically, you know, I was with her during the whole process of her seeing her family doctor to what issues she had, and getting sent to a specialist and getting sent to MD Anderson for treatment. I was through the whole thing. Unfortunately, she ended up passing on, but I decided to start this this campaign to do something in her name and carry it on, and now it's been 17 years.
17 wonderful years. What's that kind of been like now after those 17 years to still carry on that name? She really created her legacy.
You know, it's just something I felt that something inside that told me that, you know, that to do it. And I know there's a lot of people who are going through treatments. We've had people participate in our event that come up to me and say, hey, you know, I'm a survivor, and you know, and it just feels great to be able to help in one way or another, and to help give back to the community, number one. Number two, I mean, it's just something that a lot of people know somebody or have experienced it themselves. So it feels good to be part of something so important like this to help other people.
Yeah, you saw a need in the community, and now something really, really special that's happening this year is that you've partnered with IBC, who is matching every single dollar that you raise for this 5K.
Yes.
How does that feel?
You know, IBC has been great. They've been very supportive, and you know, we're working together again this year. Everything that we raise on this event, all the participants that register, all the money that we get, IBC Bank's going to match it dollar for dollar. So we want to double the money. So we want to encourage, you know, everybody out there that even if you're not a competitive runner, or you know, you're not really much into jogging or whatnot, this event's still for you, because you can be out there for yourself or for somebody that you know.
Perfect. All right, Carlos. Well, we thank you so much for joining us today and for everything that you're doing.
I really appreciate y'all having me here, and you know, we're hoping to see people show up, and you know, I'm excited about this year. So we're just looking forward to seeing them there at the starting line when we say ready, let's go.
Let's go. All right, Carlos, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
That's all for now, guys. Thank you so much for joining us this Sunday morning. We'll be back next week with more fun. Until then, have a great day.